I'm sorry. This is Ordina, Dr. Hope. I was just really want to talk about the law of attraction and how, as an adult, we really do create our reality. I've been challenged to actually talk about the law of attraction and manifest a lot of things that I desire in 90 days. At first, I thought, okay, do I really want to take this challenge? It's either put up or shut up. Do I really want to take this challenge? So I'm taking this challenge. And today, I really want to set an example. Hey, I'm doing good. Okay, somebody's clicking in. I don't know how to do that. But I want to talk about the law of attraction because I talk about it all the time around the people that know me, and I manifest a lot of things that I desire. And today is an example I want to give you if you really don't think you are creating your own reality. I went to get me something to eat after work, and I had in my mind Pancheros, but I passed by, some Chinese restaurant. So I pulled up in there, and I go in there, and they did not even see me. I'm standing in line, and they started talking to the people behind me, and I'm looking, I'm like, am I invisible? And then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought somebody served you. I don't know how, but anyway, I started laughing. I just said, that's okay. I'll just go where I wanted to go in the first place. So I wanted to say that to say this. A lot of times they say, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. But the truth is you should think none as well. Whatever you think will manifest. And I've been teaching this before I actually knew about the law of attraction, but I've been really, since I've done this 90-day challenge, I'm in day 5. So those who want to take the challenge with me, go ahead, come on with me, jump on board. But I love you too, Marquise. But anyway, as an adult, a lot of people have the question, okay, do children really create their reality? In reality, an adult creates a child's reality up until they come up into the age of accountability. People don't really want to say that, but you are creating the reality in your life. The things you think, the thought is the creator. The manifester is the spoken word. So the things you speak in your darkness, the things you speak when no one's paying attention, the thing you think to yourself is what is creating your reality. How can I say that? Well, if you really be honest with yourself, and it's hard, the first thing it is, you have to be honest to yourself first. And if you take an honest look at your life right now, I can guarantee you what you've been thinking the last couple of months is what is in your environment today. That means the person you are with, the relationships you are developing or destructively creating in your thoughts, which is manifesting in your reality right now. I can guarantee you that. Most people will try to dispute that, but I'm going to show you now how. You're in a relationship, right? And somebody make you upset, and you make this crazy thought, oh, I just can't stand him, and I wish he just gone on somewhere, and he get on my nerve. But in your mouth, you're saying, oh, it's okay. What's wrong? Nothing. It's nothing wrong. But in your mind, you're saying, I wish he'd get out of here, get away from me, and all this extra stuff. And what happens is when he go across that street to someone else, then you should blame yourself by the thoughts you're telling yourself. People don't want to say that, but that is the truth. Just like to say, I wanted Pancheros today. I have Pancheros. Now, the way I have Pancheros may not have felt good in the beginning because I could have had two thoughts. Oh, these people are disrespecting me because I'm a black woman and I'm in a Chinese restaurant. They're serving all the Chinese white people first, whatever. But I love America. This is why I love America. Call me whatever you want to call me, but this is why I love America. Is because I have the right to spend my money where I want to spend my money. I have the right to make a decision on whether or not I have to deal with how you treat me. I don't have to do that. And understanding the laws of attraction is the things I desire the most will manifest above anything that comes beneath that. And so as I wanting Pancheros, because that's what I really wanted, and then I'm standing there and I'm looking around at their food and I'm like, I really don't want this food because I don't eat meat, and all they have is everything mixed with meat, and I'm trying to come in my mind and fix it. And in reality, I wanted Pancheros because I can have it the way I want it. And so I've decided that I create a life that I enjoy having it the way I want it. I can spend my money where I want. I do not put my money or my resources into negative atmospheres. I don't sow into negativity, and so therefore I reap less negativity. Same thing with the law of attraction. I choose not to think the negative side of how someone is treating me. So therefore, when I go somewhere else and I walk into Pancheros and they're giving me extra, welcoming me when I walk in the door, is because that's what I call into my life. That's what I bring into my life. And so therefore, that's how I feel I should be treated. That's how I think I should be treated. And that's what manifests in my life. And as an adult, what we fail to teach our children and what we fail to, most of us are mishandling ourselves first and foremost by the thoughts that we think in the dark. Manifestation is starting in the darkness. And a lot of people say darkness is bad, but dark matter is the source of creation. So when you're in the darkness, nothing, the void or whatever you want to call it, is not brought to the light. What you think in the darkness will be brought to the light, meaning it will be manifest into your reality. So I make a habit, and as an adult, you should make a habit of thinking differently. People, I say this all the time. They like, Dr. Hope, do you really believe the stuff that's coming out of your mouth? And I really do. My children do. And if you want to challenge me, take the 90-day challenge. Take the 90-day challenge and really be purposely in your thoughts, purposely focused in your thoughts. Think the things that you desire and challenge the reality that you live in and see if it doesn't manifest. And ask yourself, honestly ask yourself, as an adult, can you look into your life and see why it's the way it is? Whether it's good, great, and wonderful, is it really challenging for you right now? Is because what I thought yesterday. I guarantee you is what, and people say, oh, how can you say that? So the woman who's been abused, the woman who's done all these things, did they call it upon themselves? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, if you think you're unworthy, if you think that you don't deserve a thing, guess what? You don't deserve it. And as hard as that sounds, you don't deserve it. If you think you're unworthy, you will hang around unworthy spaces or people. And I'm saying that just like that. Some people are not worthy to be in your environment. And we need to really be honest with yourself. Are you deeming yourself less than and creating a space of less than, or walking into a space of less than what you deserve? For me, I choose to look at it the way things are differently. I decided that I was not better than anybody. I decided that I was tired of living the way people were treating me. I was tired of accepting that. Not because I thought I was better than them or better than anything. I thought life owed me a little bit better than what I was giving to myself. I owe myself to receive the greater things in life. And so therefore I decided to accept the greater things, seek the greater things, think the greater things in life. And guess what? They showed up in my life. So as an adult, we fail. I've been noticing with the children, all this killing that's going on in Champaign County and all these kids who's just taking lives, is because as an adult, and I would have to say we as parents, are not instilling into the men or the children or the male counterparts of the human species is that they are valuable. They are more valuable than parents have been raising the male. Men are coming into a space of not knowing or not understanding their value, so therefore it's easy for a male to take a life, a young boy to take a life, because they don't deem themselves worthy to be standing where they stand. Society is choosing that the black man is not worthy to be validated or whatever, and so therefore as a parent, we're not looking at these men and saying, hey, you're worth more than what you are giving to yourself. What society is saying to you, don't fall for that. Because that's why it's so easy for these young boys to go out here and take a life, because they don't understand that their life is valuable. Because if you understand that your life is valuable, the next person's life will have same value or higher value. Nobody's better than you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you value yourself, you wouldn't go out there and do the crazy things that these young boys are doing, but nobody's pulling them by their tail, curtail, or whatever you want to call it, by their arm and saying to them, stop creating this. You're creating this. The young boy who is out there making these bad decisions don't understand that today your decisions for today are creating your tomorrows. So when you go out there and take a life, guess what? You just hung yourself. And you just called that same death into your reality, whether it be laying under 6 feet or whether it be locked up 6 by 9. Same thing, you're still dead. Dead man walking. So therefore, you are creating your reality by the thoughts. When you think that the next man's life is not worthy, guess what? 10 times came back on you. Your life is not that worthy. And that's only you to blame, because there's always options. That's what I love about America. That's what I love about life. There's always an option. When I walked into, what is the name? I can't even think. That's how it doesn't matter about what you come across. The thing that you desire the most gonna manifest. I stopped by a Chinese restaurant. I can't even think of the name, but I wanted pancheros. They disrespected me? No. They operated inside of what I desired. They didn't want to serve me. I didn't really want to be served. So could I get mad? No, I started laughing, and everybody in the restaurant was looking at me like, how is she laughing? And they just wouldn't serve her. But I knew in my heart what I really wanted, and it was pancheros. And then I laughed. I said, the funny thing about America is that my money works here and there. So the resources that I have are going to get me what I want. Life, you're going to give me what I want. Because they didn't serve me, I went to where I wanted to go. I said, no, that's no problem. I'll just go next door. It's not a problem. The problem comes in when I take myself out of my want and puff up and say, oh, they disrespected me, they didn't serve me. Or it's their loss that they didn't serve me. It's not about a loss. It's not about disrespect. It's about me really getting the things that I wanted. And I wanted something else. And that's what happens in life. We really want something else, too afraid to go get it, or thinking something else is better. Or a lot of times we take the first thing that come along. And in taking the first thing that come along, you stepping outside of that thing you're supposed to be manifesting. A lot of people want a good man. A lot of people want a good woman. A lot of people want a good job. But then you take the first job that come along because you think life sent that to you. But instead of listening to your gut and understanding that that doesn't fit inside the thing you want to manifest, you just created a different reality from the one you wanted. As an adult, as a human species, and if we believe the Bible, or those want to say Christianity or whatever, it also says the same thing. Whatsoever man thinketh, so shall it be. So whatever, and you go to the Bhagavad Gita, they all say the same thing. The Quran, it all say the same thing. All religions say the same thing. It ain't even about religion. There are immutable laws that are in place. One of them happen to be the law of attraction. Whatsoever you think, not whatsoever you want, because you can want a thing, but you don't think about it. Well, how can you do that? Because a lot of people concentrate on other stuff. Then that's why I say a made up mind is that one that's going to manifest. Most of us are operating without a made up mind. You say you want a thing, but the first thing that come along, it doesn't even have to correlate with it. It doesn't have to match up with what you want. You're running after it. Most of us around here who don't have the life that you desire is because you are accepting whatever comes your way. And one thing about a storm, when you're in a storm, if you understand how the universe when you speak a thing, the energy just spins, and when it spins, it's going after what you want. It has to spin because it has to go around to collect what you want, bring it back to you. But most people don't understand that in its spinning and changing and shifting, when that shift takes place, a lot of things going to come to you. You should be letting it go by. But most of us grab hold to the first thing that come along. Oh, I wanted a man, so I take the first one to come along. That's like the dog. You want the dog? Oh, well, let's take the puppy. The first thing to come along be the vicious killer. And then you mad because you took the first thing to come along that doesn't fit with what you wanted in the first place, but you want to try to be the molder and the maker and create a reality that already exists on the other side of town for you. And now you're stuck in a relationship that you don't want, unhealthy, or you're in a space that is unhealthy, a job that is unhealthy, and you wonder why you got cancer. You wonder why, and excuse me, but you wonder why you have all these ailments going on in your body, going on in your world, is because you are accepting the things that are going against your core desires of what you want in your life. Hello, you create your own reality. Nobody wants to really accept the fact that as an adult, if you are going through something that is totally against your core belief system, your value system, it aches in your body, it's your responsibility, and you owe it to yourself and the rest of us to live according to that. To eliminate that which is around you just because you invested time in it, or just because you've been with this and that, doesn't mean you have to stay in the hell that you created. You created it yesterday. It doesn't have to be for your tomorrow. A lot of people are stuck in the past and stuck by the chains of the past, and they don't want to get past what you don't want to get to what you want. What is so wrong with living for what you want? Living in the things that you desire. People call me crazy. They've been calling me crazy all my life because, and I'm smart enough to know why you call me crazy, is because you can't understand why I don't live under the guise of how people think my life should go. Never have, never will. Because I realize there's choices in the world. I realize that what I think can manifest. Because if I think of something that's been, when I was a young girl, I used to think of some stuff, and then I used to be amazed how it would just happen. And then I used to tell people around me, oh, watch this. And so I'm talking about a thing, thinking about a thing, and it happened. People can't understand that when you know you are a creator, when you know you are a manifester, and it happened, they want to call it witchcraft. They want to call it all these things, a mystery, because you don't understand the power that you have. So if you don't understand the power that you truly possess, that's why I say greater is he that I am than he that you are in this world. Then you don't understand the power you have. You want to call it the God in you. You want to call it whatever you want to call it. It's still you, and it's still in you, the greater you that was there before you got conditioned, formed, molded by the desires of other people versus your core being. Anything that goes against your core being, you should be letting it go. You should be letting it go yesterday. Not today, but yesterday. That's how fast you should let it go. And I don't care if they want to say, oh, Dr. Hope, you telling me leave my man. If that's what it takes for you to be safe moving into your tomorrow, manifesting the life you want, move him aside. If you are in a space, a job that every day you got a headache when you come home, you disoriented when you come home, your stomach hurt when you come home, hello, get another job. Get another friend. No, you can't get another family member, but guess what? You can stand up and have them treat you the way you desire to be treated, because when you raise up a standard for yourself, others will fall under that standard. Most people don't even understand what a standard is. A standard is a light above you to where you see your whole truth and nothing but your whole truth. And guess what? Everything around you will do the same thing. People don't want to see that. You are the creator of your own life. You are the creator. You can get mad at me and say, oh, I'm being mistreated. Oh, I'm doing that. But guess what? I was mistreated I was raped. Everybody know that. And those that read my book, you know that too. But the thing is about that, when I realized the thoughts that I had about myself not being worthy, about myself being just submissive to any and everything that came along, and being distorted in how I value myself, my value system, you end up in a space where people mistreat you, mishandle you. Why? Because you first mishandled yourself in here. You first mishandled yourself. And I can go back all the way to the beginning. And as being honest with myself, I can go all the way to the beginning of when I started mishandling myself, which allowed everything around me mishandle me. Now, let me back up on something. Those who are mishandling children, that ain't got nothing to do with me. The person who mishandled me as a child don't have nothing to do with me. So children being molested, children being abused, that's on an adult, and you will suffer the consequences of that, whether it be in the dark or in the light. Sooner or later, it will be in the light. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how adults create their own reality, because when you are an adult, your thought process and this mouth is your creator. You have been given the power to let there be. When you speak, it shall be. So when you say, I am not going to have, guess what? It shall be. When you say, I am going to have, in that same adamancy, it shall be. So whatever, when the word whatever, that means all, whatsoever, everything you speak to yourself in here will manifest out there. So if you be honest with yourself and you pause and you ask yourself, what was you thinking a month ago? What was you truly concentrating on a month ago? And I can tell you that it's in your life today. Oh, I want some money. Oh, I want some money. But you got 55 million more thoughts that contradict that part of life. So that's why you don't have the money. You think something else is more valuable, or you deem something else more resourceful, is why you don't have the money. If you want $1 million, like most people do. But you really don't want $1 million. What you want are the things that you desire to be manifested, and you think it's that $1 million that's going to get it. And when you searching just for that $1 million and you don't have the things in your life because you have limit, the resource giver, all the things that could have came and gave you the things you want in your life. When you move into a space of being purposeful in your thoughts, your life will change. Change your mind. When you say change your mind, what does that mean? That means continue to think on different things. That one thing. Oh, I want a lot of things. You know what I've done this year? I found a letter I wrote to myself. This is how I want to talk about the law of attraction, because last night I found a letter I wrote to myself back in 2000. And those people that know me back in 2000, I didn't have the highest self-esteem. I didn't have a value system. I didn't even have a future designed in my mind, because I was not supposed to be here. At 28, they told me my kidneys wasn't no good. I wasn't going to be here. Okay, I didn't know enough about life to know that I could say no, sir. That I should be thinking about tomorrow. So that's why I talk to all the young people that I do about creating tomorrow. So now I'm hearing tomorrow. But in 2000, I said, what if it works? What if this thing called whatsoever man thinketh so shall it be works for me? Because what I'm doing is not working. The darkness is not working for me. Now I'm either going to take my life or I'm going to choose something else. Taking my life didn't work either. So I had to live. I didn't have no choice but to live. So I wrote a letter to myself. I don't even have a pen, but I wrote a letter to myself. I picked up a pen. I said, well, this is all I got. I didn't have no skill set. I had got out of school at 15, 16 years old, so didn't have no guidance. I was living on my own since I was 15, 16 years old. So I didn't have nothing. I had a pen in my hand. I said, what if this was a magic pen? What would I do? If I could write my future, what would I write? And I wrote a letter to myself. I wrote a letter to myself. I said, well, I know I didn't have the means. I was too shy to communicate to people. I only had a select number of friends. Well, I still only have a select number of friends, but that was because I was shy. Now it's because I choose to have the right people in my life. And I wrote a letter saying, if I had a magic pen, this is my pen, and I wanted to write something different in my life, and there was nothing blocking me, what would I write? What would I be? Who would I turn into? I didn't have nothing to lose because I wasn't nobody. So I wrote a letter to myself and saying, you will be a public speaker. You were speaking in front of 200 some people. I couldn't even speak in front of one, so I knew I couldn't speak in front of 250 people. But I put a number down. And I said, you will be a public speaker. You'll write many books. Things that I knew in my mind that there was no way possible with the skill set that I have. There's no way possible I could do it. I just wrote it. I was playing to myself. I was trying to encourage myself, and I wrote a letter saying, oh, you're going to be an author. You're going to be a public speaker. You're going to be a life coach. I had heard about that. You're going to be a hypnotherapist. There was nobody to help me, so I had to learn how to be a hypnotherapist myself at a time when people was calling it voodoo. I wrote all kind of things. And one thing I wrote in there, and I know people's not going to believe me, but one thing I wrote in there is that everybody know I was having difficulties with my stepfather back then. That's back then. And I wrote that he would be invisible to me. And when I wrote that, I wrote everything down. I recorded it, and I listened to it one time. And I put that letter in a Bible. I just found it yesterday. I put it in a Bible. And I hadn't seen him in like 7 years. And when I saw him, I was at my sister's house. He knocked on the door. This is God's honest truth. He knocked on the door. I went to the door. I looked outside. I didn't see nobody. I come back to the door. I said, the kids, somebody playing on your door. I heard a knock again. I went back outside. I didn't hear nobody. I said, look, I'm not answering your door no more because somebody's playing on your door. So he can't. My sister answered the door. We heard the knock again. My sister answered the door. He was at the door. So she come in. She said, why you ain't letting me in? I said, who? I could not physically see this person. I could not see him. And it took everything in my mind to pull up for me to see him. And I ran in the kitchen and I just fell out laughing because I really could not see him. And so what I'm saying and why I'm saying this is because your mind is so powerful. Whatever you think, you can have. You can do. Well, guess what? I've published 4 books, but I've written 13. I have created 4 programs that have been worked in the Champaign County. I have spoken in front of 300-400 people at one time. These things I have done not because I went back and had that letter, not because I sat down and wrote the goals down, not because of that. It's because I believed if there was nothing blocking me, that I could have that life. And guess what? I look around and I have that life. Not because I got in the way, not because I purposely set out to have that life. It's because I imagined how I would feel. And matter of fact, I even wrote in there that they would call me doctor. And guess what? When I got my doctorate, I did not even really know that time was on me. They called me and said, you need to give me your ID. You need to send in your books and you need to submit your paperwork. And I was like, for what? I was so into living my life the way I wanted to that I did not pause to know to see what I was doing. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we get so caught up in what we are not getting right, what we're not going to do. I'm going to tell you, what I think I get done. What I think I want to do, I get done. I said, I want to bake cakes. I started baking cakes. I didn't even know how to cook like that. I just started doing it. And I celebrated every step of the way. The first doll I made was, quote unquote, to the people who don't understand about creation, they called it hideous. Now, to me, It was a doll that I made. I painted, didn't know how to paint, didn't know how to make a doll, didn't know how to do none of that. And I completed, I laughed so hard because it was my best. And what people misunderstand about life is when you give your best, you should celebrate your best. You should ignore all the chatter that is around you that's saying, oh my God, did you really? You happy about that? My second doll was better than my first doll. But it was my best doll too. Because if you give your 100, if you honestly give your 100 and that is your best, then you should celebrate that. I learned that early on in my life, and a lot of people who are older than me don't even understand that aspect of who you are. When you come to understand that you gave your 100, and if it's shorter than the next guy, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I celebrate every little thing so that I can do more things. And the more I think about the little things, I say, okay, what about that? I want to write a book. I wasn't even good at English. Honestly, I wasn't good at English. But I wrote, and I kept writing. I started throwing up words, and just everywhere I went, I had to write. When I made a decision that I wanted to be a writer, words came up. Everywhere I went, I had to start carrying. I got journals. I got two of them with me everywhere I go. I carry journals because when you want something, it just flows out of you. When my first book, it felt like I was throwing up words. I was at work throwing up words, in the bathroom throwing up words. Everywhere I went, I was throwing up words. And I got not one book, but I got like 5 books at one time, and I didn't even know how to put them together. It's just here, this and this and this. And I still have 13 books that I haven't slowed down enough to put out to the world to let them read them. I got the covers done. When I'm saying a book, I don't have just words in a binder. I have created the covers for them. I've created the whole process. All I got to do is turn it into somebody. But that's not my goal. My goal wasn't to turn them into somebody, and people around me don't understand that about life. When you and people miss out on a lot of things because they feel that they have to do further once completion. I don't feel like that. I have 13 books because 13 books flowed out of me. I have dolls that I created because they flowed out of me, out of the desires that I thought and I desired to have. I didn't say I wanted to be a doll maker in life. I didn't say I wanted to always be a writer, but I do want to be an author. I mean, I've done that. But I didn't say that is my state of life, state of being. And people misunderstand your dreams and desires. They're ever unfolding, ever changing, ever growing. So to limit yourself to be and to do and to accomplish this one thing in life, that's like the guy who got the talent and buried it. And people wonder why I do so much. It's because in the law of talent, okay, there's a law of talent. You are given talents. And I believe, this is just my mind. Nobody's told me this. This is just my thinking. I believe in your lineage, your family, your bloodline, the blood that runs through your veins, the DNA, they have talent in it. And those that have buried their talent in my lineage, I have awakened that talent in me. And that's why I do a lot of things. People say, how are you so talented? It's because you don't want them, give them to me. I try it out. I do it. Why not? What do I have to lose? What do I have to gain? The satisfaction of these hands creating. Let's talk about God for a hot second. There's characteristics of God. They say know the character and the characteristics of a God. Why is that important? Everybody want to be loved. Everybody want to love. Everybody's searching for this thing called love. That's one characteristic of the oneness of the all that's around us all, which is so-called God or being or source or universe, whatever people want to call it today. Higher that we can't put our finger on. I chose to operate in the creator aspect of God, because that was the thing I could see. I can't see this love. That love didn't show up in my life like that. So I didn't want to stumble myself seeking that talent when it wasn't in my atmosphere. So I didn't have an example. But when I got out of the hospital one time and I saw a purple tree that I had passed every single day, and I realized that I woke up that day to see what was around me. That was the day I began to live. And I never forget it. The day I saw the purple tree. Been in my neighborhood, been in there. It was like 4 houses down. I walked the street every day going to and fro. But this particular day, I saw the purple tree. And then I thought to myself, what else in life have I missed out on? Because I'm so caught up in the I'm not worthy, I'm not liked, I'm not loved, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not smart enough, and all these things. And so I said to myself, if all that is coming to me is the negativity that is coming to my mind, I choose to not think about it. So I came up with a saying called no disappointment, no expectations, no disappointments. When I began to say no expectation, no disappointment, they called me even more crazy, because I didn't expect anybody to treat me right. I didn't expect anybody to give me anything. I didn't expect anything. I just did. And there's a danger in that too, because you end up doing anything and everything. But then I came across a guy from my hometown called Zig Ziglar. And one thing he said to me that changed my life. And he said that there is no man, no woman, no being on this planet better than you. They just have different experiences than you that make them more knowledgeable in one area. And I was like, really? And so, but understanding that part of my life, that was my shift. That created a dynamic shift. When you realize, looking to the left and looking to the right, there is no person, no being on this planet, black, white, or otherwise, better than you. They only have better experience or knowledge at their disposal than you. So I began to not look so far to the next person, but I began to say, okay, what are my resources? I didn't have many. So I began to find resources. I went on a scavenger hunt for resources, for knowledge. And that's what people don't want to. People talked about me because I was always asking questions, always trying to find an answer, always reading, always just trying to better myself. I didn't go to the clubs like that. I didn't go to hang out with people. I just secluded myself, and they said that was dangerous too, but I did it. And I just started reading anything and everything on everything self-help. Everything self-help. I stopped watching TV. I put TV out of my life because I was already hurting and I didn't want negativity in my life. I didn't want to be conditioned by a box, and I wanted to create me. And the moment you make a decision to turn in and create you, your life will change. There is an immutable law, undisputable, immutable, unchangeable law that says whatever you think, it will be. But what are you thinking? What are we thinking? Are you thinking on purpose? Are you thinking in purpose? Are you thinking just haphazardly? Are you just existing by the thoughts of someone else? That's the first thing you got to do. You got to ask yourself, are you existing on the thoughts of someone else? Who gave you those thoughts? If you decide to change your mind, the only way to change your mind is to find something else to think on. But if you're thinking on the same things over and over, you will not have change. It's not they say if you're doing the same thing, wanting different results, you're crazy. No. The crazy part comes in is when you're thinking the same things and manifesting the same results, you're crazy. The only way you can get change is to think on something different. Not you can do. It's robots walking around. Half of the people are robots anyway. And what I mean by that is you doing what somebody else told you to do. You're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing what somebody told you to do. Somebody pull you left, you going left. Somebody pull you right, you going right. You just doing. So therefore, you're not thinking. When you decide to still yourself and think about what you're doing, why you're doing, when you're doing, how you're doing, you can guarantee that change will show up. It has no choice but to show up. Why? Because what you think shows up out there. And like I said, if you don't believe me, turn around, go back a month ago and see if whether or not you thought up what's happening in your world today. That person that left, you thought them gone. That person that came, you called them into your life. It may not be that, oh, I didn't think of that particular person, but that whatever experience you need from that person, you call that into your life. People don't want to say that, but I'm going to say that. You are your creator of your moment to call today. Today is yesterday and tomorrow is today. So what you think about today will manifest tomorrow. What you thought about yesterday, hello, look around because you got it. There's no other way to say it. So it's not change what you're doing. No, change what you're thinking. You cannot change your environment until you change what you are thinking about your environment, what you are thinking to do with your environment, what you are thinking to do in that environment. Then the environment changes for you. You don't change for your environment. It changes for you. It's a hard concept to come on, but when you decide that different has to show up, different is going to show up. But if you're just saying, oh, I want something different, I can't stand this, oh my goodness, this makes me sick, you will be sick, and different will show up. Now when you sit down and think, okay, what do I want? I want better. What does better look like? If you define it, Amos says, write the vision, make it plain. That means you have to think on purpose all the way down to the minute detail. And when you think all the way down to the minute detail shows up in your life as a grand experience. But as long as you just haphazardly thinking and tomorrow thinking about something else and today I'm talking about something else about the same thing. I'm not talking about different things to think about. I'm talking about a different thought process about the same thing. Your relationship, if you have a bad relationship, ask yourself, the moment it turned bad, was you thinking negative or thinking that particular way about that particular person the moment your relationship changed? Did you create that change in the relationship by the things you were thinking about? A lot of times people don't exhibit a sign. The sign comes from your mind. When it comes from your mind, you go and the sign shows up. The more and more you think about it, the more and more it shows up. And let me tell you about this, and excuse the language and excuse the French, whatever you want to call it. But all you men out there calling women bitches, hoes, and then you mad because one show up in your life and you thought she was wife or you thought she was woman and you thought she was this good, great, wonderful person for you, but you calling her bitch every time you want to talk about her, and you saying, oh, in the secret place with you boys out there hollering about my B and my B this and that and my B this and that, not my woman, not my queen, not my love, not my heart, not my passion. You calling her out of her name and disrespecting your something you want to call yourself loved attached to, and you wondering why she show up in your life like that, and you wonder why twists come up like that, and you wondering why all the same type of women that come in your life like that, and you wondering why your relationships are not going and are not functioning the way you desire in here like that. But in here, you are creating and calling that type of, I'm going to say woman, in your life. The moment you decide that the person you want in your life will be a cherished individual, will be a respected individual, you have to respect her in your mind first. You have to respect her in your heart and your mind first. If you got a problem calling a woman beautiful, amazing, wonderful, delightful, precious, lovely, and you calling her bitch, hoe, this and that, you thinking it's cool because we got that language like that? Excuse me, Dr. Hope. You said that word? Yes, I did, because you said that word first. No woman wakes up thinking she a bitch today. No young, pretty, beautiful girl goes to school, says hi to a man she likes and adores, and expects to be put in a category of bitch today. That's not the one. So you create it, you call it in your life, and you mad when it shows up, and you disoriented because you can't have the life you want, because nobody want to treat you like that, because you created it. You called that out of that girl. Or matter of fact, if there's one out there, you called her into your life. How about better than that? Because the one who is not that ain't going to show up for you. She's not going to come in your life, because that's not what you really, truly want. Because the language you put in your world is going to create what you think. And it's going to manifest. That's why I say let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Because words have definition, and definition shows up. A bird is a bird. A rose is a rose. A bitch is a dog. And a woman is a woman. A lady is a lady. So when you show up like that with your language in your mind, look around. Because I guarantee you, the language in your mind is the manifestation you have in your life. The manifestation you have in your life. So I challenge you. For one, the first part of this challenge is a 90-day challenge. The second part of this challenge, the first part of the 90-day challenge, is for you to look back a month ago and tell me, looking back a month ago, do you see what you thought about in your dark times, in your secret place, while you was by yourself? Is that what's in your environment right now? That thing you kept concentrating and recycling in your mind, is that what's in your life today? And if you can honestly say no, then show me something different. But if you be real with yourself and real with how you see your life right now, you will say, maybe you're right. And if I am, I want you to say, think of this one thing that you really want to see change in your life, to come in your life. Whenever a thought comes against that one thing you want in your life, I want you to shake it off and say you a lie to yourself, because that's who's telling you. And say, this is what I want, not this is what I'm thinking about. That is not conducive for me, that thought. And watch your life change. Come back and let me know. Thank you, everybody who was watching and listening. This is Dr. Hope. I'm out. I'm challenging you as an adult to look into your life and ask yourself, what are you creating? Ask yourself, when will you start thinking on purpose, in purpose, on time, in time, right now? And what you have today that you don't like or you don't agree with that's in your life, choose today to get rid of it. Choose today to eliminate that here. You don't have to tell nobody. You don't have to go and say, oh, I don't want you in my life no more. I don't want this job no more. You don't have to start speaking that. Just think it. Think of something better to take its place and watch that thing that's better to take its place show up. I dare you to think like that. I dare you to keep your mouth shut. I dare you to just think a thing away. What I'm saying, okay, you got a person in your life, it's not working. Why? I dare you to start thinking, I release you. I release you to go on to find your better one. I release myself to go on to find that better one. I release this relationship. I dare you to just think it, not say it, but I dare you to think it, to change your mind, to change your environment. And you come back, better yet, come back in a week and tell me how it is. I guarantee you, if you just think on this one thing that's not working in your life and you bless it on, thank you for the time it was here, and let it go, I guarantee you it will leave on its own. You do not have to speak a word. You do not have to say a word. But if you just think it away, I guarantee you it'll go away in 30 days. I've done it over and over and over. People that are in your life that are not doing you any good, people that are in your life that are not making you feel good, bless them on in here, not out here. Steal your tongue. Steal your tongue and change your mind. I guarantee you your life will change. When you steal your tongue and change your mind, when you start thinking things, well, we just not good friends. We just not, as friends, it doesn't work. So I bless her on to find a friend that helps her and fits with what she want to do in life, and send me a friend that wants to the same thing, that like-minded, like me, that's going to protect me, like I'm going to protect her, is going to be loyal to me, like I'm going to be loyal to her. Or send me a person that I want to have a relationship with. This one that I got right now, we're not working. I bless him on to whoever he needs to be with that is good for him, and she's good for him and he's good for her. Right now, this is just not working. And I release myself and I release her. And I guarantee you, if you change it in here, you don't have to tell somebody to get out of your way. You don't have to tell anyone to get out of your face. You don't have to do any of that. They will leave on their own. A job that you want, look for the job you want. Think on the job you want. Manifest the job that you want. Go to that job. It'll come to you. Every job that I've ever had, and I promise you this is the truth, every job that I've ever had, minus my first one, I thought it up in here and they came to me first. So I'm saying, as an adult, you have a power that we are not tapping into, and you are not purposely creating your todays, because if you look at your yesterday, what you see around you, you thought it up. You thought it up. You didn't have to speak it up. You thought it up. And if you be true with yourself and start governing your thoughts, being purpose with your thoughts, then everything around you will shift on its own. You don't have to do the legwork. Everything around you is shifting on your own. You are the adult. You are the creator. Greater is he that is in you, the I am. I am is the most powerful statement on this planet. When you say I am, that activates what is, and it comes to you like a magnet. That is the key. People want to talk about a secret. It's not a big secret. It's watch your I am statements and your life will change. When you be purposeful in your I am statements, your life will change. If you say I am good, I am great, I am wonderful, I am amazing, I am prosperous, I am knowledgeable, I am smart, I am these things, then watch that manifest. It's not lying to yourself. It is creating tomorrow. No, you're not going to see it today. And hey, you might have. If you said it yesterday, you're going to see it today. But if you didn't say it yesterday and you say it today, I guarantee you're going to see it tomorrow. When you say I am the producer, when you say I am the creator, when you say I am the manifester, when you say I am prosperous, when you say I am smart, I am in order, I am, watch how tomorrow shows up with that same I am. You didn't have to work at it. You didn't have to do anything. You spoke it into the let there be. That is what the secret is all about. These people want to act like it's such a big thing you want to hide from the people who don't have. Well, guess what? When you understand the laws that they can't change from you, the laws that are just is, and you start tapping into that, say people, those that steal the kingdom of heaven is stolen, because it's people you can pick it up and say, I am is the key. Back in the day, they used to say abracadabra. Well, if you say I am, that is your abracadabra, because whatever you say, I am, to yourself first, because it has to create in here in order for it to see. The sight, if you think about how you see, you actually see inward to see outward for what you see out there. So in reality, what you see in here, that is the truth, because when you looking through your eyeballs, if you really understand how the actual sight take place, it reflects backwards and move forward. So whatever you see in here, it's going to be out there tomorrow. So be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what I am statements did you say about yourself yesterday that shows up in right now? I'm not going to have no man treat me like that. You're not going to have no man. I'm not going to have this if I keep acting like I can't have it. I can't. You won't have it. But when you say, I am going to have a place where people treat me a certain way, you're going to have that. You don't have to go announcing I am grown. If you know in your mind I am grown and I'm going to make grown folks decisions, I'm going to have grown folks conversation. Guess what? Grown folks conversations will come to you. Grown folks decisions will come to you, and you will be making that. You don't have to announce any of this stuff. Everything you want in your life, you don't have to go around and say, oh, I want this, I want that. No, I am going to have it. It's here first. If you don't believe it in here, nobody can give it to you till you believe. There is not a soul on the planet can make you conceive it if you don't have a belief already in here. It's not going to ever manifest if you don't believe it in here. People say it over and over and over. But I'm telling you the truth. I have tried it. I have tested it. My kids have tried it. They have tested. People around me. You can't be around me and not be tapping into it. You can't, because that's just, everywhere I go, I talk about it. The law of attraction. No, I don't call it the law of attraction. I say, watch your words. I say, watch your mouth. I say, watch why you thinking like that? How about you if think about this kind of way? Everything you say you can't have, turn it around to an I am statement. I guarantee you it'll change. There's nothing you have to do. You not having the life you want. You're not being treated. You think you should be treated a certain kind of way. I think you should be too. But if you're not getting that, then I guarantee you it's in here. I can't give it to you. Nobody else can give it to you if you haven't given it to yourself. You are the creator of your environment. You created it yesterday and you're creating it for tomorrow. What you're doing right now is what you're creating tomorrow in here. So if you in here thinking some crazy, wild, irresponsible stuff to yourself, about yourself, be careful about your tomorrow. Be careful about your tomorrow. Don't get mad when your tomorrow doesn't look right for you, because you are the creator of your environment. You are the creator of your tomorrow, and you are the only one responsible for your day if you are an adult. And I keep saying that, if you are an adult, because there's going to be somebody going to say, oh, kids are being mistreated. I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about adults creating their own environment. When you are at the age of accountability, when you are at the age of your own thought, it's your responsibility to yourself and the world. If you want to give something back, give your best back. Give your best here back. Turn around, turn it inside, and give it to you, your best, and we'll reap the rewards of that. Too few people are living to their best, to themselves, loving on themselves, self-love, self-like, self-being to themselves, and we're reaping the dregs of you not loving on yourself. So when they say be selfish, no, I'm saying be self-full. Look at yourself, love on yourself, and watch how people look and love on you. If you mad about how the world is treating you, get in your quiet place and get mad at yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I'm mishandling me. Nobody's going to treat you a different way than how you treating yourself. You are the creator of your environment. You are the creator of your environment. What I'm saying is stop thinking stuff in the dark and think you're going to get something better than that in the light. What you think in the dark shows up in the light. This is the darkness. When you by yourself, feeding yourself, whatever you feeding yourself, saying to yourself, oh, I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not even going to say it out loud because it's not going to come back to me no more. So I can't even tell you what you're thinking because I don't want it in my environment. Because I know I'm good. I'm a damn good friend. I'm a dang good woman. I'm a very good creator. I'm a very good designer. I'm a darn good writer. Those things I know I am. And whatever today that is lacking in that, tomorrow will manifest that. And when you understand that the key to your environment are your I am statement, you should govern your I am statements. You should govern how you hear what your mouth say in here. Your mouth don't even get to say it half the time, because what's really being created is your thought is the creator. Your mouth is just the cutter. It can give it life or it can give it death. Every time you say, oh, I just love him, I love her, I can't stand him, I can't stand her. Well, guess what? Both of those are true, but how many times you said it makes it more powerful. What energy you put behind it, which one is the most powerful one? Then you mad when you fall out of love. You mad when you fall out of like. You don't want to hear the truth. The truth is, you created that bad relationship. You created that bad situation because of the thoughts you're thinking about yourself. If somebody not treating you right, it's because you're not treating you right. You're not treating you right. It's going against how when somebody's treating you good and you can't receive it, it's because it's going against the darkness that you have created about yourself inside of here. Give somebody a compliment, he can't receive it. If he done told himself he's not worthy of that compliment, he's never going to receive it. So you're beating a dead horse, as they say. But if you want change in your life, you have to look in that mirror, and those I am statements have to change. Your I am environment has to change in here. So if you want your environment out there to change, then inside you have to change. Inside your mind. Change your mind. Not, oh, make a different decision. No, change it. Speak in here differently. And you don't have to, I say it over and over again. If you want your mind, your environment to change, you don't have to display it out here. You don't have to say it out loud. It says speak those things as though they are. Well, the first speaking is in here. Think those things as though they are. So whatsoever man thinketh, so shall it be. Speak those things as though they are, because you want that change. You have to agree with yourself. Stop agreeing with other people. When, just like every time you go to the doctor and say, how much you weigh? You weigh 198? Not me. You know, that don't work with me, because my ideal weight is 164. And I'm going down to 164. So stop agreeing with stuff that does not agree with your core being and your design for your tomorrow. Because today you created this mess yesterday. If you go back and think about what you was thinking about yesterday, a month ago, 2 months ago, I guarantee you it's in your life today. I guarantee you can't tell me it's not in your life today. And if you can, you say, I didn't create this. I didn't create how people treating me. Oh, how are you thinking about yourself? How are you mishandling yourself? How are you mishandling yourself with your thoughts? And then you turn and look and see how somebody is mirroring that in your reality. If somebody is mishandling you and you're an adult, it's because you are mishandling yourself in here. You can't blame nobody else on how you are being treated. Is because how you are treating yourself in here. When you put that microscope and shine it back on your truth, then you can tell you yourself. I am going to let you guys marinate on that. And I challenge you to create different I am statements for yourself and watch your environment change on its own. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to speak it. You don't have to go and say, oh, I am doing. You can. I'm not saying you can't. You can have people agree with you, because when 2 or 3 agree more, that's a what? God in the midst, a theos in the midst, a oneness that has to be. So that if you can get somebody to agree with your I am statements, then go do that, because that's what you need to do. So I'm challenging you to take the 90-day challenge with me. I'm on day 4. You can start on day 1. But take the 90-day challenge to see what you want to change in your life. I don't even want you to write it down. You don't have to write it down. But if you need to write it down so you can remember what you want in your life, you probably won't do that. But something that is really in your core belief system and you want it in your life, I guarantee you, if you think on nothing but that one thing, not saying, oh, I got to think about it. No, when you say, okay, this person that you want and you love this person and you really want a good, positive relationship, when that thought comes in your mind that goes against that, cancel that out saying, oh, no. And you might be having a bad right now, but if you want a good tomorrow, cancel that thought out and say, you know what? She's a beautiful person. I love her. And this will change. This too shall change. This too shall change. Yeah, they fussing and fighting. Oh, yeah. Okay. This too shall change. Because we're going to have a really good relationship. We're going to have or if you really want to get rid of them, say to yourself, I'll release her. I'll release him. Goodbye. Send him on to somebody else. Help me be a stranger. Let the ties be cut. You ain't got to go say it out loud. Hey, I'm done with you. No. Say, okay, I'm thankful. It was the experience. I'm done. I'm complete. Our time is up. Let him go on to the next one. To whatever makes him grow. Thank you for the growth. And release him in your mind. And watch. I guarantee you, watch me. If you think I'm not telling the truth, somebody please tell me where I'm wrong. Because if you think, if somebody got a different answer to this, tell me where I'm wrong. Because I've tried it, tested it, and it's true. I think it away. I'll think it to come. I don't want it in my life. It's no longer in my life. I did not have to. When I wanted to change the people I was associating with, I didn't disrespect the friendship we had and say, you know what, I can't hang with you no more because I'm living this way and that. I said, oh my goodness, I can't hang out like that. As long as they enjoy those things, let them enjoy them. And I'm just praying for the kind of like-minded people to come in my life. But I really value my friendship and I don't want to burn any bridges on the way. And so just we can meet in different places. This is what I'm saying in my mind. And guess what? People start saying, you know what? I ain't even going to do that in front of you. I'm not going to get high in front of you because I know you don't even get down like that anymore. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. It kind of doesn't feel too comfortable sometimes because they'll change for you. You don't have to require the change. And I'm telling you now, be aware because it does get a little bit uncomfortable when you thinking it and you thinking on purpose, in purpose, on time, and the shift just comes so quick. When you be purposefully thinking about it, the shift comes so quick, and without you having to put forth a physical effort, it will be a little bit uncomfortable. Because when you know a person is not good for you and you know the situation is not good for you, you're welcome, Jackie. And you know it, but you don't want to hurt anybody. It say anger and sin not. So when something you don't agree with, the thing is not to sin, not to make it distasteful in somebody else's mouth. Don't make them feel less than. You sit and you meditate. Okay. I realize he is not the person for me, or she is not the person for me. And that's okay. The experience we had is okay. And it's wonderful. There are amazing people. We just don't have the same values. There are amazing people. We just don't have the same viewpoint. And I release them to get connected with who they need to be connected with to move on to their next experience. And I welcome my next experience. The problem with people are we try to possess people. We try to possess the land and we got to have control. And if something doesn't operate in how we designed it in our minds, we want to kill it. We can't let it be. But to truly love something, and to truly operate out of love, you have to learn to operate out of allowing. And what I mean by that is that you have to come into a space in the let there be. And when you operate in that space, the pain in here that comes from not being able to control the other half of your situation will not be there anymore. You will understand that you are the creator of your own environment. They are the creator of theirs. What they desire in their world is fine, good, great, and wonderful. What you want in yours is good, great, and wonderful. It's all good and great and wonderful. It's when we go against the allowing, which causes the friction, which causes our body to send out signals saying, okay, you're going against allowing. Then we get heartburn. Then we get chest pains. Then we get heart attack because we go against the allowing of our core being. It's not that we go against the allowing of other people to be who they are. We are going, when you hold on to something that don't belong to you, in the core, in your core value system that doesn't belong to the core value system, you create a friction within yourself, which causes the breakdown of who you are here first. Then it manifests here first, here second. And when you want to change what's manifesting out here, you got to change what is being processed in here. When you do that, then you will see the manifestation of change in your environment. I love you guys. I like you guys. I want you guys. I need you guys in my life. And I allow you guys to be the good, great, wonderful beings that you are right now. My phone is dying, so I'm thankful for those who tuned in. I'm grateful for those who even take in consideration the things that I am saying to you. And if you have any comments or anything you want me to discuss at a later date, I'm on a 90-day challenge, so I will be doing more lives. And it's funny because I started this year out with wanting to concentrate on the law of attraction, and for it to manifest so greatly in my life, I'm thankful. I'm thankful